I am Tariq ibn Walid, a soldier in Caliph Omar's army. I am telling you my story so you can understand what I saw when we marched to Damascus in the year 636. For us, the city became a turning point in the early Islamic world, even though many people only know it as an important training center. I still remember how hot it was in the desert after we left Medina. We were not a rich army. Most of us carried simple swords, spears, and shields. However, we had a strong belief in what we were doing. We were always reminded to offer peace before engaging in combat and to fight only when necessary. It took us weeks to cross the dry land of Arabia and enter the greener region of Syria. To many of us, it was the first time we saw large farms and walled cities. When I initially arrived in Damascus, I was surprised by its size. A grand stone wall, towering minarets, crowded bazaars, and waterways all in the form of canals were some of the things that I witnessed, which were vastly different from the villages that I was accustomed to. At that time, the city of Damascus was ruled by the Byzantine Empire, which had ruled this land for many centuries. Although their soldiers were better equipped compared with us, the Byzantine Empire was weak, with divisions within its own ranks. Our commanders, together with Khalid ibn Walid, commanded the army to encircle the city so that its supplies would be cut off. We waited, watched, and stood our ground. There were quiet days, but other days arrows shot out of the walls. I was nobody more than a soldier, just another guy with a shield trying not to get knocked down. However, in this lengthy wait, I learned something valuable. Despite all that was being fought, our leaders spoke. They began sending messages with peace terms if the city would surrender. They emphasized that if a treaty were agreed, Christians and Jews within the city would be safe. Personally, this was a bit unusual for me. I was anticipating outright war, but instead, we heard a lot more talk about fairness and justice than anything else. Slowly, the people inside began negotiating with us. They were tired, and they were afraid of what might happen if the Byzantines continued to lose battles elsewhere. And so, with Damascus' eventual agreement to a peaceful surrender, I felt more relief than victory. There was no burning, no destruction. Rather, our leaders passed through the gates calmly. Christian families remained in their homes. Churches were kept open. They simply paid a tax to the new government, while Muslims paid a different one. I realized that our conquest was more than mere fighting. It was also about proving that we can provide fair governance. Once I entered, I found a different world. Markets filled with silk and glass, scholars studying Greek books, farmers with agricultural products from the countryside. The city was like a peep show into civilizations older than our own. Some of us remained with the purpose of keeping order. Other activists launched other campaigns in the region. However, we all realized that Damascus was more than a victory. It was the first great capital of burgeoning world of Islam, where so many different cultures met, mingled, and shared their knowledge. Looking back, I realized that everything was influenced by faith, politics, and war. We thought we were establishing something new, but we also learned from the people we interacted with. Damascus transformed our army, and subsequently, it was the center of the Umayyad Caliphate. I am only one soldier, but this is my story, and through this you can comprehend a little bit of how the early Islamic empire started its rise.